who starts dropping in, but there's actually a couple of things that I want to talk about. I've been kind of busy as of lately, and just kind of wanted to bring you guys up to speed as to what's been going on, because I know I haven't. Well, I've been busy doing them, posting up videos, but I haven't done any of my normal live streams, and that's just because I haven't had time. But there's a couple of things that I want to bring you guys up to speed. A couple of changes that might be happening in the fish room. Nothing drastic as far as where the tanks are. They're going to stay there. Maybe moving around of some of the stocking and things like that. But that's a little bit of what I wanted to talk about. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Alex, thanks for coming in. Jesse, um, hey, Mel. No, it's just I was saying, I haven't had an opportunity to do a live stream in a while. Oh wow, I did the one that I did the one when I was driving up to Phoenix on Saturday, but I must have had a brain fart or I didn't read the caption correctly. Hey, Sarah, Jody, thanks for dropping in. Um, because it said it was still processing even though my live stream was posted. So because it was still processing, I said, I'm going to delete this because I didn't know what it was. It said live stream processing. And I went and deleted it, and it actually deleted that live stream. So for those that didn't get to see it, the only ones that got to see it, I guess, were the ones that were on the live stream. Oh, hey, Brandon. Thanks for coming in. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on here in the fish room. It's a little bit dark because some of the lights are off, but I'll go ahead and turn them on right now. Hey, Steve, Sarah, and well, as you guys who have been watching the videos know that this last weekend was a pretty full weekend. I went up to Phoenix, and that's not uncommon from when I go to Phoenix. I try to maximize the most out of my visits to Phoenix because it is about a 3.5 hour drive just to get up there. Luckily, there's always something to do in Phoenix. Even Mike might know because he kind of lived in the area. I think either Tucson or Phoenix area. Fortunately, there's some stuff going on. A little bit about the swap that I attended to. I learned a little bit more. Again, the problem sometimes is when you go off of what people are telling you, it's not always necessarily the truth. I finally had an opportunity to talk to the organizer of the event. I'm going to see if I can have her on as a live stream guest so that she can kind of tell us a little bit more about what her ultimate goal is and why was the motivation of doing that. Um, of course, there's a little bit of fish club drama associated with it. I don't get involved with that. Luckily, I don't have to go up there, but maybe 2 or 3 times out of the year. But I guess there's been some differences of opinions. Let me put it to you like that, and that's kind of motivated Adelina, who's the one that organized that event. That's Fish Swap, the Fish Palooza, not Palooza, and at the end of the day, what it was, she wanted to have an event where people had an opportunity to be able to make some money off of the hobby. Like most of us that have multiple tanks, one of the ideas is to be able to breed stuff, and then when you breed it, you want to be able to, pass it on or move it out so that you can either A, continue to breed other stuff that you want, or just, have the experience of breeding something. See who else has kind of dropped in here. Today I should have no excuse to try to keep up with the chat because my focus is on you guys, not anybody else. Iowa Takeover. Is that an event that you guys are trying to organize over there in Iowa, Mike? Okay, got Jody, Jesse, Mike, Mel, Alex, Bratton. I don't think I'm missing anybody. And so, hey, Sal, thanks for dropping in. And so the event, for being the very first event that they had, I would say it was very successful. She told me that they had 28 vendors that had signed up for the event, and only two of them couldn't make it, and it was because they were up in Flagstaff and it had snowed in, and that's the only reason they weren't able to come out. Um, there might be a possibility that in one of the future ones, I might even put up a table. The reason being is since I've reorganized my fish room, there's a lot of surplus stuff that I have. And I don't want to throw it away. I want to be able to put it to good use. And and get rid of some of that stuff. I have like a pile of driftwood that I'm not using. Well, shit. Why do I have to talk about it if I can show you guys? Let me turn on some lights, and I'll do a little walk around the fish room, kind of give you an idea of what it is that I'm trying to do, and we'll go from there. Oh, make sure this one doesn't go off because it's on a timer. All right, so we have the outlet on. Damn, that was a horrible up close view of me. All right, so I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'll kind of let you guys know what the stuff. It's a mess. I organized it and then I started piling up shit again. But anyways, here he goes. Flip the camera. There we go. All right, so I've got all that driftwood there that I'm not using. Is just piling up. I do have all these rocks that I'm not gonna use anytime soon, and they're just taking up space. So I need to get rid of that. I have an entire chest, that one down there, that is full of filters and equipment and stuff like that. Those are bags of clothes that my daughter just dropped off in her last visit, so now we got to deal with them. So there's that stuff. Let's see, what else do I got going on that I need to get rid of? Well, mostly it's just equipment stuff. That's firewood. That's not. Oh, and I got that other bucket there that's full of rocks too. So I have some hardscape. And I have to get rid of this aquarium there. So it'd be a good opportunity to sell that. I really want to keep it, but I really don't have anywhere else to put it, since the idea, my wife already kind of gave me a front look because I put that one up there. The deal was all my tanks are supposed to be up against the wall like they currently are right now. They're not supposed to be, taking up any of the middle space. So I need to do that. So those are some of the things that I need to get rid of. As far as projects, I did pick up some fish. From that video from Mexico, the one thing that I did pick up, and I don't know if you guys were going to be able to see them, are those guys right there. I got a group of 6 platinum half-beaks. And I know what you're thinking with all these little fry in there, but these guys are so prolific that if they help me out and reduce some of that population, I'm not going to be mad. Because I got a colony of these guys here. I've got that whole tote down there, and then a whole colony of these guys in here. They're all the same. And they're all kind of, you can see all tons of them. They're still kind of small. The reality is they're still small. They're not going to be able to eat a lot of these, for the fry are much bigger than their mouth. But in a couple of weeks, where is it? Right there. They're still tiny. In a couple of weeks, they're going to get much bigger, and that's going to become an issue. Down here, those are just my Blue Star Endlers. These guys, they're always so hard to film, but I'm really liking those guys. Down here, I actually got some red mosaic fry that I'm growing out, and I'm going to try to incorporate them in here and see if I can get them to do some crossbreeding and see what I get. This is just a colony that I've kind of been playing around, and I'm starting to get some of the traits that I want. I really wanted to get some of the mosaic and the tails of these, but hopefully with that group, which is up here, I don't know, we're going to be able to see them. They're tiny, tiny fries. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm trying to show off aquariums, and the glass is all dirty. So let me clean that off so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. These are supposed to be the red mosaics. Galaxy mosaic. That's what it is. So I'm going to take some of these guys. They don't have any color yet. It was just a little breeding group that a young lady was selling. I believe I got the group for like $10, and there's like 6 or 8 of them. So I'm going to grow these out, see what happens in there. I do have the emerald green Cory group in here that is hoping them to get spawned. I think I'm going to have to do, when I was talking on the trip up there, I need to reorganize some of these tanks. As much as I like to have plants in them, for breeding, they are excellent for breeding. They're horrible for harvesting. And I've had to learn that recently. I think there's a reason why a lot of breeders go with bare bottoms, and it makes perfect sense because then it makes it easy to retrieve. So my idea is that I got these baskets at Walmart today. Oh, and they also carry now some of the peat moss, which that's going to be for to try to breed some tetras. I got some eyelash yarn because I did get some Bozeman rainbow fish. I got a trio, a breeding trio, that I'm going to try to breed them. And I've heard Roxy and Brian talk about this being a very good material for making spawning mouse. The idea is to take these little storage containers. They're like $2 at Wally World. And I'm going to put the media in here and then just put all my plants in the back of these and be able to free all this up. So that way, when I go to try to harvest fish, if this is really in the way, I can pull it out of the aquarium and then be able to get access to what I need to do and then be able to put the plants back in there. So this is something I'm going to be trying out on a lot of these, because the reality is I'm not going to go away from plants. As much as I say that I'm going to try to do that, look, this was supposed to be nothing but lava rock in the bottom, and myself couldn't resist, and I put peat moss. Cocoa fiber in the bottom, and then I started putting plants. So I know myself. I can't help myself. I need to have plants in. This is supposed to be a breeding rack. It doesn't look anything like a breeding rack. Well, they're breeding, but when I try to retrieve fish from there, it really becomes a pain in the rear end. But that's sort of what is going on with those. Let me show you. I got a group of red, and then I also got a group of blue. No, these are black galaxy mosaics, and they're in here. They're still tiny. This is from the same young lady, and again, it was like $10. It's you can't really pass up. Even if they don't necessarily breed true, I can sell them as mixed guppies to the store that I go and take supplies stuff to them, and I'll get my money back in the first drive that I do up there. Other thing I got were some panda guppies from another young lady. She's the daughter of one of the club members, and she's kind of breeding these. So I got a pair of these, and the other ones were, these antlers. Now, I don't know what kind of antlers they are. I have to be able to identify them. I think they're black bar antlers, but it was just a pair. So I don't know how well they're coming up on the camera. With plant, it says, what is Mark saying you can have a bare bottom tank and have plants and planted tanks. You just have to use terracotta. Yeah. And that's what the whole idea of those little plastic pots is. Instead of using the terracotta, I'm going to use these. I'm going to give it a try and see how that works out. So I got those. I got these Pseudomcgill forktails. They're tiny though. I have to wait a while to grow them out. There they are swimming around. These are also a breeding group. And that's the other reason why I got that yarn mop, because I'm going to try to, because these guys will lay the eggs on there. I think there's 8 of them. It's a colony of 8. So that's going to be another breeding project that I'm going to try my hand. I got some leopard guppies. Never heard of them. Looked them up. They look pretty cool. Again, these guys are tiny. These were, what did the guy sell them to me for? I think it was, I want to say like $8, and he just kind of threw a scoop in there, and I said, "Oh, cool," because he was selling them like $2 a piece or something like that, and I just want, really what it is I'm more interested in just getting diverse genetics, because most of my guppies that I have in here are basically from the same colony, and so I just need to. Oh, this is a little bit of. I think this is a little female, and it's got an interesting tail. No, is it? I'm trying to see if it's got a gonopoid. Oops! So much for cleaning out the glass. Let me see. Where's the side? That's a little bit. Oh, he took off. Scared him away. So I have those. I got a group of ember tetras that I'm going to try to breed. That's what that cocoa fiber is for, to try to bring down the pH in this and see if I can trigger them to breed. They still have a little ways to grow out. I had a group of 3, and I went and got a group of 6 to add to the colony, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. What else did I get? I had the panda, the black, the red galaxy mosaics, the leopard guppies. I had to label all this stuff because then I would forget. My brain is not as good as it used to be. Oh, I got these little elders too. This one might be the same thing as that black bar ailer, but I didn't want to put them together. This is from a different. This is from the same girl that I got. No, 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 no. This is from another young man. Here, I had a little bit of problem because of language. I think he's a Vietnamese gentleman, and he knew limited English. And the only thing I could get from him is that these were fancy, and he had mixed guppies, and that's what he just kept saying. I kept asking him what kind of line or strain, and he just said fancy, fancy. So I still got them. I think these were, what were they, like $4 for a pair. You can't pass up. You know, I'm gonna make my money back on these. I had to throw them in the least killifish tank, but I'm gonna get them out of there because I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do next. So I have those, and then from him, I got a bunch of what he called fancy, but he couldn't tell me what they were, and I don't know what they're gonna look like. These don't look much because from the top, but one of the males is in there. There's another group that I got from him. He had like a breeding group for $6 or something like that. There's another one in there in the back. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see them. They're like snake skin with lighter color, and I have those in there. And then I had another one that I put in here, which I'm not going to be able to see. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see them in there. But I have those set aside because he said they were just fancy and mixed. I'm going to wait for them to start growing out and start throwing out fry because I want to see what coloration they are. Worst case scenario, they go to my mud guppy, the mosh pit inspired by Stephen P. And they just go in here and they'll help me enhance my words are difficult. My bloodline, it's just introducing a new bloodline in here because I don't want these guys to just be breeding in between themselves. And so that's one usually is the one that I'll take when Joe from the chlorophyll corner, he just wants just regular mutt guppies or mixed guppies. This is where I usually scoop them out of. And the other thing that I got was a breeding group of like some yellow snake skins, or this is from the same guy that I got. What did I buy from him? Oh yeah, the leopard guppies. And these guys look, let's see. These guys right here. And originally I had a snake's skin. Oh, there he is. That's the original guy that I had in there. And so I bred in these other guys. Hopefully they'll start putting out something that's a little bit nicer, yellow and black, with some of that patterning. He seems to have the same traits, but the tail is very different. I think he's more of an Endler mixed, a hybrid. And these guys are, where are they? Yeah, these guys I think are more guppy. I don't know if he was trying to breed out swordtails or what the intention was, because if you notice, most of those, but the bottom part of that tail is kind of like a sword. So those are the stuff that I picked up. Those guys will stay in that colony. I'll probably pull the red Galaxy Moscow guppies once they grow up a little bit more, and the black ones. And what I want to do is I want to take advantage of the space down here. Down here I have nothing but junk. Hence why I want to get rid of this stuff. That tote is also full of aquarium stuff that I'm not using. I have those filters back in there, that pump, all that stuff I'm trying to sell at the swap. I just have equipment that I'm not using anymore. Some undergravel filters. Oh, some of these fake rocks. There's some more rocks. I think there was a hang on the back filter in here somewhere. So it's all equipment that I'm going to take up there, put $1 on it so that it goes. I'm not trying to make any money off of that stuff, but I just wanted to sell. I don't want to have it here anymore. And this is what I found also at the Fabulous Wally World. They are roughly about 8 gallons, and they're gonna make excellent little breeders because I'm gonna be able to fit them under here. They're about the same size as these. These are in the kitchen section. They're supposed to be like portable sinks, but I think they're gonna be perfect for like the endlers and the guppies that I want to breed out. So I bought 3 of them, and I'll probably turn this the other way around so I get more space under here. That way I can keep everything under in one section. I think these are even short enough where I might. Let me get this rag off my shoulder because I didn't even think about that. But every space counts. Yep, there you go. That's gonna be. I have lights. I have plenty of lights, like these lights right here. I have a whole row, and this one I'll just figure out a way to mount it in the bottom, and bam, we'll be cooking with lights. I can do that there. That's what I did there. You can see it off the glare where I put one of those in there. I'll do the same thing under here, and I'll light all that stuff up. But I still have plenty of those tubes. They're all up there. How many lights do I have? I got all of these for like $5. 3, 4. There's 8 of them still. 9 with the one that I took down. And as you can see, I even use them to light up some of the areas. Oh, yeah, I'll show you those. I had fish in here other than the bettas because they were temporary holding tanks, and I put them in those totes down there. So that's a little bit of what's been going on with me. Let me flip the camera around. Take my seat. And that's kind of what I got going on. Oh, wait. Have I shown? Yeah, actually, you guys just kind of saw them, but didn't really see them. The other thing that I decided to do, and I hadn't done, I hadn't finished doing my fish room tour. I kind of stopped at the breeding rack, and I never told you guys about. Let me turn it around so you guys can see. I never told you guys about this rack. I never told you guys about the bows, and didn't tell you guys about this one. If it might be in one of my old videos. This one was like super packed, almost all the way over here, just dense jungle val. The problem that I have with this one is that I went out here by work, and by the river, they're usually pumping out a lot of the silt that's in the bottom of that river because it's a reservoir and they have to empty it out or else it loses its capacity. Well, they pile it up on the side to work. Maybe one of these days when I'm driving by, I'll stop by and film it for you guys because they basically created a sand dune. Well, I was thinking maybe if I take some of that substrate and mix it in with the sand because it might be a little bit more nutrient dense than just gravel and stuff like that. Well, I made the mistake of putting it in here, and you see how it stained the glass? It looks like tea. That's from where that silt, because I also made the mistake that I had a pleco, and you can see where he was boring out the bottom of this. So he brought all that silt. You can still see some of that silt on the top, on the surface of this, but because I don't have the pleco there anymore, he's not agitating the bottom. You couldn't see anything in this. It was always murky and cloudy. It still is. A lot of it is because the glass is dirty, and I don't know if you can see that tint. And that's all from, it's more pronounced in here from that silt. And I can't seem to scrub it off. I've used this kind of sponge, melamine. It does work a little bit, but I got to really scrub it. I've used my scrapers. None of this has been working. I know what would work, and that would be to drain it down completely and use some, Bars Keeper Helper or something like that, or that stuff. I know that stuff would clean it out immediately, but it would, I would have to restart this whole aquarium. And in here, what I have are my mollies from the Colorado River. These guys are wild caught. I had a whole colony here. When I decided to tear it all out, did I throw away all that? Yeah, I think I threw out all the jungle val. There's still some of it in there. Yeah, I threw all that out. But I ended up putting them in here temporarily. And now I got to catch them and return them back to that other aquarium. The females are nothing special. The males are there's obviously better colored mollies, but here's what I really like about these guys. One, it's their true state. You know, that's just the original color that they're in. But when this guy gets fired up, you can see how he gets that yellowing on the top of that dorsal fin. His head turns like really really yellow. The tail is what's really attractive because the tail will get some of that yellow and that between that dark line and the yellowness of that tail, you get like a light blue color. And I don't know if it's picking it up there or not, but it really looks stunning when he's fired up and he's ready to mate. I and a lot of it also is because I don't know if it's because I pulled them out of the where they had access to sunlight and they were able to grow out in the sunlight. But yeah, it's just something different. Also, I don't know if you can pick it up, but the horizontal lines that run through them, they get some red and blue lines on them, and it really looks cool. It's one of those geeky kind of likes, I guess, because you have all these guys that have all these fabulous colors in them and stuff like that, which is cool. Which at some point started from them looking something like that. Obviously, these are swords. These are more of a platy and a sword mix, but you get mollies like that guy back there and stuff like that. Over selective breeding, they've kind of gone away from what they really look in the wild. So they have the opportunity to have some. It's just kind of cool. I like it. I do have. Oh, I also picked up some tiger limias. Where'd I put those? Okay, memory served me. Oh yeah, they're down here. And that's what I took out. This used to be a molly tank. There might be still a couple of mollies in here. But I kind of, messed it up because I was trying to move the stuff out of there. They usually hide. Oh, there he is. He's coming out. Where is it? Where is it? He's coming to the camera. So I got a breeding group of those. I got a trio. There's no, that's one of the mollies that I still need to catch. So I don't think they're gonna crossbreed. I don't know if Curtis is here. Maybe he can tell me, or somebody else that's kept limias, but they're different species. Even though they're live bears, I don't think they're gonna crossbreed. And I got to hurry up and try to get the other ones out. But that's the other fish that I got. And hopefully we can get some breeding out of that and see what happens. So that's kind of what. Also today I guess I released a video for the store in Mexico. That one is funny. Not the video, but what happened with that video. That one was supposed to have been from the store tour that I did in San Diego. It was like the following day or two. After going to San Diego, I had to go to Mexicali. And I had filmed it, but I guess, I started pushing buttons and I accidentally had deleted all that footage. And I thought I had lost it. And the other day I was trying to make room in my phone because I got all my pictures, videos, and all that stuff on here. That I started trying to do a dump. And when you go to clear it for good, I looked in there and there they were. So I was able to retrieve them and able to put out that video. So that's why it's kind of a little bit out of sequence. That should have been almost like 2 or 3 weeks before going to Phoenix. But either way, I thought it was kind of cool. That store really impressed me, not because it's like a really cool store or anything like that, but because I went to that store a few years back and I thought that store was about to close because it looked rough. There was all sorts of cobwebs in the corners. The tanks looked horrible. The fish looked all sick. Like when somebody is just kind of giving up and they're just kind of waiting for whatever's left to go away. And that's why I never had done a tour of that store because it really was in a good shape. That's the last thing I want to do is be able to put somebody out like that. So it just so happened that I had to go do some stuff with my truck. They were going to replace the windshield on it, but I had to wait. I had to wait for my appointment. So in the process of waiting for my appointment, I decided to run up there and film that. And boy, was I happy that I went back because it's, believe me when I tell you, it's 100% better. It actually is a store that well, I bought fish. The last time that I was there, I would have not bought any fish from that store at all. I would have preferred to buy them at PetSmart. That's how bad it was that them buying them there. But now it seems like they really turned it around. I don't know if it's the same ownership or not. I didn't know the previous owner anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered if I asked. But they're definitely doing a lot better job. Are there better stores than that? Yeah, you're always going to find stores that really go above and beyond. Quickly comes to mind is the store up in Houston. Um, it's they're kind of sponsors of Aquashella too. They have a store in Dallas and they have one in I think it's called the Fish Gallery, but that's like a really high end store. There's another one I think in Houston, which all they do is like ADA equipment. It's like a official ADA store. You go in there and it's like art. They're art pieces. That's what they are. But obviously that's you know not really a. At that point, it's really an exhibit or a gallery. I wouldn't call it a fish store. Functioning fish stores would be like the fish gallery, which they have all the tanks and all the ones that I've been to, like the Ocean's Floor. That one is it was actually for having that many fish, they all look pretty good. So I would have no. Wow, that's where I bought the colony of the Ember tetras. This was from them. They had some green fire tetras that I couldn't go. I went back to try to find them and I forgot where I had seen them. And it wasn't until I started editing the video that I remember which tank they were in. And I was like, but at least when I go back again, I'll be able to do that. Take a look into that. Hey, Jim. Let's see who else has come in since I've been rambling. I got Mike. Let's see what is Mike saying. This is part of the aquarium design group. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I figured because it's way too fancy. It really is. They have a dining table that in the middle has like a low boy tank with a endless like an infinity pool effect. It's super impressive. Don't get me wrong, and it's definitely something for high end that they're not going to maintain the fish. Somebody else will for them. But yeah, they really do have some high end. Hey, we got this trade. Hey, Melvin, thanks for dropping in. Kimco, thanks for dropping in. Let's see who else. June's come in. I saw the dead fish at the PetSmart. Hate it to buy tester fish. Sarah, Sleeper. Hey, Sleeper, how you doing, man? Let's see who else. Let's see those for them. Nothing for me. Glad this store is improving. Yeah, so am I. I'm very happy that the store is getting much better. And it's interesting because Mexicali is a city of 1.5 million and growing. And you would think for a city that big they would have several stores, but there's three legitimate stores. And what I mean legitimate stores would be like what you saw, like the very first one that I went to, which it was Aquatics. That's a legitimate pet store in my opinion. The one that I went to, this last one, Peces Arrecifes and Más, that's a legitimate fish store. What I mean is, it's not uncommon that a lot of people will have like a little corner market and they'll have a couple of tanks or the veterinarian shops where if you go to the vet down there, they'll have like a few tanks, but I don't consider those pet stores because they don't consider. It's mostly like feeder fish what you're gonna see in there and bettas. That's it, and it's not. It's not very well kept. The bettas would be in little cups by the counter, and then they'll probably have a small rack of maybe 12 tanks of 10 gallons, and they'll have some guppies, some platies, some mollies, mostly live bears, the easy stuff, and one with like feeder fish or goldfish, and that's typically what you'll find. And there's a few of those, but I don't consider those fish stores, because that's not where they're not going to have a lot of the equipment that that goes with for your hobby. You'll find one or two fish, and that's about it. They don't really carry like a food line. They don't do any of that stuff. So They're just taking opportunity of some space to sell. Oh, and turtles. For some reason, turtles are huge at the vet shop. You know, the little red ear sliders and the yellow ear, and they sell them real small. And I don't even know that. I don't even think that they're telling people how big they really get. So it's just like a little money grab, I guess. Kids will gravitate to that kind of stuff, so that's why they have it there. Um, hey Jeff, no, be careful on your writing. Fascinating yet mildly, and the vet sells fish. Yeah, but like I said, it's more of you came to bring your dog or cat for update shots or whatever. Well, while you're here, would you like to take a betta, or would you like to take that kind of stuff? And they also have birds. They A lot of the vet shops will have some birds, and they'll usually be like the small birds like finch and stuff like that. Nothing, or the parakeets. Parakeets are huge down there, and then they'll have like two or three tanks or no more than 12 tanks of little live bears, and that's pretty much it. But that was it. So that's kind of a little bit of what I got going on. Uh, what I've been doing, I've been a little bit busy, so I haven't really done much as far as live streams. I did, oh, from my trip to the fish store. The last time I was there, Joe had mentioned to me that he was carrying a new food line called Aquatic Provisions. I didn't know this guy was local to the Phoenix area, but I guess his business is running out there out of Phoenix. And a while back, he started following me. I think from when I did before this actual update of the store, I went up there when they had just recently moved, but everything was in boxes and stuff like that, so I didn't film any of that stuff. But and I helped them unbox a couple of things, not a whole lot. I was more in the way than anything else. But Joe had invited me up there, so I went up there, hang out with him for a while, and I noticed that he had this whole display area of this food, and I hadn't seen it before. So we started talking about it. He really likes it, and you guys know my opinion on foods. I'm not necessarily overly sold on the idea that one is much better than the others. I think at the end of the day they're all the same. But anyways, I was curious, so I bought a sample. This one right here. It's their community palette. It's a good food. Don't get me wrong, the fish will eat it, but they also eat my Ken's fish food and stuff like that. Nonetheless, the owner of the company, his name's James. No, James? John. I think it's John. Now I'm hating myself because I think it is John Simpson. Reached out to me, and he said, "Would you be interested in doing a collab?" This I paid for. This is not. They didn't give me this. Then I said, "Sure. What did you have in mind?" And I guess he wants me to try some of his food, so he sent me a sampler. It's supposed to arrive either today or tomorrow. I don't know. But what I was more interested in is I invited him on because I want him. This is the first time that I get to talk to a food. What do you call them? Provider, creator, um, vendor. That's the actual owner of the fish food company, and I want to see the first place. Why did he decide to make fish food? Because it's such a competitive market, and I don't know if there's a big margin of earnings on this market. So I want to know why he felt the necessity to create his own food line, and what sets his food line apart from all the other food lines. And I like to hear it from him, because you always get stories from other people that have used them or they've talked to them, but you never really get to hear it from the developer's perspective. And so he said he would come on. I think we're scheduled for the 25th, which is it's a weekday. It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which would be 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And you guys can do the breakdown in between. And I'm really looking forward to that because I do want to pick, I want to find out what makes somebody decide to make their own food. Now, the question is this his own formula? Is he buying in bulk and repackaging? Those are some of the things that I want to know, and I want him to tell me about it. I don't know if I want to. What I've been thinking about doing is Because he obviously wants me to use the product. That's why he's sending me the sampler. But I don't know if I want to use it first and then talk to him, or have him explain to me what it is about the food and then try it out. But I don't know if that would sway my opinion of it. I don't know if it's better just to be less informed and have a reaction. How long have you been trying it? Hey, Jeffro, I just got this on Saturday. I've fed it probably 3 times. I'm really feeding it to the rainbow fish because I want them to breed. So supposedly it's supposed to be high in protein. It's supposed to help them, you know, load up so that you can be able to get them to breed. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't, as far as coloration and stuff like that, I've never seen a difference with foods. I don't see that whole, oh, you're feeding extreme krill and then all of a sudden there's just like these, neon light colors. I haven't seen that. I mean, I still seem to get the same effect with food that is not that. That's where I'm at, and that's why I'm kind of interested on this. Let's see. Sounds good. Scuba, don't do it. Step back from the water box. Oh, he's talking about doing salt water. Let's see. So, oh wow, yeah, no, that's a lot of money. That's why I don't do salt water. Salt water is beautiful. Every time I see the tanks, I think they're amazing. My wallet cannot afford that. It's if I do that, I would have to get rid of everything in here and just set up one saltwater tank. And I think that would still be more expensive than everything that I have in here. It's just, I know myself. I'm going to want the nicest, prettiest things in there, and they all cost money. The more color, the more money. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's kind of what's coming up down the pipes. So once I sit down and reorganize those 10-gallon breeder tanks, I don't know if I'm gonna film that process because it's when I'm working, it's hard for me to make sure that the camera angle is correct and all that stuff. I'll just kind of maybe do some B-roll of it. I don't know, or I'll just show you the end of it. But either way, I'm gonna hop out of here because I gotta start getting ready for work. I just kind of saw that nobody was going live, and figured I'd hop on and just kind of bring you guys up to speed as to what's been going on. And I'm pretty excited about that interview and see what he has to tell us about it, about his food product. It's called Aquatic Provisions, and they do have they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok, they have videos on YouTube. I'll probably do a community post and put their link on there. So if you guys want to go check them out, again, I'm sure it's great food. Am I gonna see anything drastic from? I don't know. It's yet to see. I've tried the extreme. Personally myself, I didn't notice anything different from an omega-1 or Ken's fish food. To be honest, that's just 100% my opinion on that. The fish still took to it just the same as any of my other foods. Colors, I think if I'm being brutally honest, if you keep your tanks in good condition, they're going to be happy and they're going to be color. That's just my honest opinion. And the reason I say that is because I'm not married to a single brand of food. I've used them all, and I haven't noticed a difference in my fish. So, take that for what it's worth. I think if you provide a happier environment for them, they will color up more. Is there some enhancement in some of these? Maybe, but I think all foods nowadays, if they're smart, they're adding the same enhancements. So, it's like anything else. You're paying for a name, for prestige, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. What is his food called again? Okay, it's called Aquatic Provisions, and they have from freeze dried. They have cubes. I mean, I looked at the display, and anything that is food related for the aquatic industry, you're going to find it. They have tubifex worms. They have brine shrimp. They have krill. They have all these different types of in cube form, in flake form, in granule. I like granules. Granulated food is what I'm partial to, and I always like a lot smaller, the smallest granule I can get, because it allows me not only to feed the fry a little bit easier, and for example, let me show you why I believe that the food size is not really that big of an issue. I've got this tilapia in here. This guy right here. And he must have been like an inch and a half when I got him. He's probably about 4 inches now. And that's all I feed. I don't have any special food. I don't have any big pellets. I just drop food in there. And he eats, he takes in a bigger gulp, obviously, but he's still just off of that same zero point 0.5 millimeter pellets. And obviously he's eating the hornwort because he'll nibble on that. That's why it looks all like that. Surprisingly, he hasn't eaten my plants. So as long as he continues to eat hornwort and stays away from my other plants, we'll be all right. The minute he does that, he's going to become fish tacos. So yeah, I only feed one size. And I do use flakes. I make my own mixture of foods. Am I going to be able to open this? Yeah. Yeah, this is this shout out to Jesse. He's the one that sent me this food when he first did a giveaway. I was one of the ones that got it. But this is what I do. They're 0.5 millimeter pellets. I throw a little bit of flake food in there. That's usually for the fry because it'll stay up a little bit high, float on the top of the water. And never ever have had an issue with plout or any of these other things. Again, I don't feed a lot. I feed sometimes twice a day, mostly just once. Oh, I just spilled a bunch of it. The hell is that? And anyways, someone was banging on the side of the garage door, it sounded like. But this is the way I get my food. This is the stuff. This is the flakes that I get. The super tropical from Ken's Fish. And you can see these are all, I get the high protein green fry, 0.5s, and the high intensity color, 0.5s. I mix them, and that's what I use. That's what I've been using for a long, long time, and I haven't had any issues as far as digestion or anything like that. These guys all look good. And everybody eats the same thing, for better or worse. I was wondering what the hell's floating in there. It's that. Oh yeah, I got a little piece of shoya. I threw that in there for the shrimp. All right, that's too much of me rambling. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Going to work right now, so if anybody goes live this evening, I'll probably catch you on one of the live streams. So you guys take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.